All right, let's start with this for today. I saw this last night.
Recorded that
Okay.
shit.
I don't know how the audio will work, but I saw this. It's just an audio, and it says when. Dude, this threw me for a loop. And I saw it last night, and this was the only video that was actually available. And they said they were going to follow up, and thankfully they did today. All right, so it says when my dad, yes, my dad has been buying my OnlyFans content through not one but two accounts, and was a personal client of mine on both OF accounts for over a year. And the only way I found out is because he had called me to play with myself for $150, and I could hear my mom in the background talking on the phone. Wow. I don't even know what to say, dude. That threw me for an absolute loop, bro. That's insane. I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand how it happened. Because, like, first of all, bro, you know, why don't you just at least wait for your wife to leave the house if you're gonna do that? Of it all jokes aside, well, actually, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, why would you do it so boldly? Because that's one of the things. It's like, okay, so you decided to pay her. Like, what were you sitting in like a room while like your wife was walking around on the phone? That's weird. But outside of that, what the hell's wrong with you, dude? That's your fucking daughter. To me, I would actually imagine that it's likely he wasn't present in her life. Because my understanding is that there's like an effect. I forget what the effect is called, but it's something where, like, if you grow up with somebody in a familial sense, like, you will feel less of an attraction to them. But then there's also another effect is if you don't grow up with somebody, like people who are related to each other but don't grow up with each other, apparently have a weird attraction to each other. I know that sounds bizarre. Doesn't even justify it at all, regardless. But I'm just thinking about it. One interesting thing, though, maybe it's is somebody in the chat was like, why, they said, why would she even talk about it? And it's kind of a good point. And this is something that goes into like a more vague thing. But, because, yeah, that's fucked up. But it's very interesting because I think a lot of people on like, this story is insane. And we're here for the tea. Like, let's be honest. Like, we're going to watch this and it's going to be insane. But like the thing is that it's her trauma. Maybe. I'm sure she's upset. I don't know if she's traumatized. But either way, let's say it is a trauma of hers. One of the problems, and I'm being honest with the problems, I think, is that like on TikTok, people will put their traumas out there and it makes their trauma worse. They don't realize it though until 5 years later. Because it's like one of those weird things where like you're struggling with something that's really embarrassing and personal, where you could do really well talking to like a close friend or like a relative, not in this case, or like a therapist, but putting it on social media ends up having the negative impact of like that becoming part of your trauma. Like 5 years later, like, oh my, like you think back, you're like, wow, why did I do that thing? It ends up being one of those like at night moments where you're just like, you're sleeping, you're staring at the ceiling at night going like, why can't I sleep? And you're just thinking about like this moment. This is one of those moments, you know, your nighttime shame moments. So that's just like a bit of warning, man. Like if I understand it kind of, but also some people like to turn their issues into spectacles, and then you end up regretting it later on in life too. So I would just be a little hesitant about that moving forward. Anyway, she followed up a few times, so let's hear her out. Let's see what she has to say.
Your king.
Somebody said, your fault for doing it. Hope King taught you a lesson. Okay, I don't know if they're trolling. That is insane. This person named James Dot. Okay. You know, just because you do OF doesn't mean it's your fault. It's a boundary that shouldn't have been crossed.
Your king has been sexually attracted to me since I was really young. To the point whenever I was 4, he would take me to his friend's house or a girl he used to be seeing and let them touch me. Whenever I was like middle school age, so around 7th grade, 8th grade, I would have several fake accounts reach out to me. But the first account that really caught my eye was George Lewis. And this George Lewis was really demanding and wanted a lot. And you know what? My 8th grade self participated in some. None where it personally involved me sending anything, but my own father. And mind you, I didn't know at this time until now
that her father sent pictures of her to that person.
yesterday, but he would send me dick pics
Oh, the father would pretend to be someone else and send her pictures.
on my old Snapchat so I could rate his penis for money.
What the fuck?
This is the George Lewis account that he had used whenever I was in middle school. So obviously I just found out yesterday that he had been behind 2 separate accounts.
I wonder if she just found out that he's been this person that she's been like interacting with for that long, or if this like she must have just found, like, did she find all this out now, I wonder? Or did she find this out when she was younger and then it was like a problem? This is fucking insane.
That have been clients.
No, I don't think that she was doing, pee-pee ratings for money. I think that this was something that like she found out at some point about her father, just like sending her. So like, okay, it's not uncommon for like young girls to do and young boys to do stuff like this. Like, I mean, I told my wife blew the fuck out of my mind. Did she just say that? Let me see. For money? Hold on. When did she say that?
My 8th grade self participated in some. None were.
Okay, check this out, bro.
Personally involved me sending anything, but my own father. And mind you, I didn't know at this time until now, like yesterday.
Okay, yeah, so she said she found out yesterday.
He would send me dick pics
Okay.
on my old Snapchat so I could rate his penis for money.
Oh, yeah, I guess I just like blanked out. I got lost in a thought. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like I was saying before, like it's crazy because it's not uncommon for like young people to do stuff like this. This is one of those issues that we don't really talk about. So like younger girls tend to be attracted to like older men. It's the older man's responsibility not to engage with the younger girl. Like it's a very common thing. So like my wife talked about how when she was younger, she would talk to older guys. She would go on like Omegle, and like show, shit. And like whatever, and they thought, you think it's funny then, and then you grow up and you're like, oh, this was really inappropriate and it was fucked up, I shouldn't have done that. But it's more of like, oh, the guy shouldn't have been interested in the girl in the first place. There are some girls that are like, like people are sexual when they're young, and I think that, we're afraid to acknowledge that part of it because it feels like, oh, we're victim blaming. We're not, because they're kids. Like they're not supposed to, like, you're not supposed to be an adult like going like, oh, let me go on Omegle to find 12-year-old tits, So like I see why she would be in that field, and the reason I say that is because I feel like she might be kind of afraid to express it. Like that was something that she engaged in, but it doesn't make her fault at all. Like this is obviously her father's fault. This guy's disgusting, So yeah.
This is the George Lewis account that he had used whenever I was in middle school. So obviously I just found out yesterday that he had been behind 2 separate accounts that have been clients for a very long time. So he's just been building the sexual attraction towards me for years. Your king has been doing that for years. And the most fucked up thing about this is I just automatically knew that it was my mom's voice in the call. I honestly feel like if the call did not happen, I would not know to this day that it's my dad behind those accounts. But during this call, everything just seemed weird. He was like, I'm not home right now. I'm gonna be there soon. And then he was like, okay, I'm home. But during the call, he was like, I'm driving. It just seemed really off.
I wonder, like, did he not talk himself? I'm confused about some of the details. Like, was he I wonder if he was present in her life, because she was like, oh, I could identify the mom's voice, but I guess he doesn't talk.
And in the background, I can hear a woman's voice, but I was like, what is that? I get quiet and I listen closely. It's my mom on the phone. Literally, once I found out I could hear my mom's voice, this is what I said. And immediately,
okay, no fun. Wait, oh my god, I'm literally just saying to my son, what the fuck? Do you think I wouldn't recognize mom's voice? Oh my god, you're sick. What the fuck? I wonder what this was said here.
Unad. I quickly called my mom afterwards, hysterically crying. I was like, were you just on the phone? Who opened a soda can? And she was like, how did you know I was on the phone? And I just opened my Coke. So that even fucked me up even more.
It's crazy.
My father really...
It's crazy how many people are asking to get banned in my chat today by being like incredibly rude and condescending and then saying dumb fucking shit like, oh, I don't see what he sees in her. She's ugly. Like, you should genuinely reconsider your entire life. The fact that you thought that was an appropriate thing that would, like, you're somebody who subbed to me and you decided in your message to say like, oh, I don't know why this father would engage in predatory behavior with their daughter. She's ugly. Like, what are you, fucking stupid? You're an idiot. Like, don't come back to my chat, you fucking moron. Oh my God. Like, you guys get too bold. You think that because you're a sub, I'm not going to ban you? Oh, I gave you $2.50. I don't care, bro. That's disgusting. You're a fucking loser. The fact that you said that, why? Like, you're fucking stupid. Like, what? You're a fucking loser, dude. Like, what an embarrassing thing for you to even think of. The fact that came to your fucking head, and you were like, yeah, I'm going to share this thought. I'm going to share this dumb fuck thought. Like, why? What made you feel like that would be something that I would be like, oh my God, so funny, haha. Like, it's fucking annoying, bro. It's just fucking annoying. I just don't understand. Like, what would possess you to be such a stupid little fuck? It really just doesn't make me. It doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, where do you think you are? Like, did that? I you know what? I'm a little ashamed of myself that you thought that was something that you could get away with. The fact that you were even so bold as to think, you know what? I think in Papa Gut stream, while he's talking about a father who is trying to see, like, who's been, since this girl was like 12 years old or even 4 years old, has been having like an incredibly inappropriate interaction with her. I think I'm gonna call her ugly and say, why did she do it, bro? Like, if I wouldn't get banned on this chat, I would say so many worse things to you. Just so many worse things to you, bro. Like, I mean it so much too, but like, I can't because I'll lose my job. Like, you're just a fucking loser. I hope you really reconsider yourself after this. Like, go take a break. Go sit down, have a bowl of macaroni and cheese, ask your mom to make it, and think about what you did. Because it was just disgusting, bro. And you kind of like ruining my stream because it just bothers me when people do shit like that. Like, it's gross. You know? Like, it's just gross, dude. Like, go reconsider your shit, bro. Because that was fucked up. It's not funny at all. Nobody thinks that it's funny. Okay, and that every single time you make some fucking edgy little dumb fuck joke like that, where you think it's funny, you're ostracizing yourself from people who could be like you could be friends with in general. Not me, because I'm like a content creator, but in real life, you say some like dumb, shitty, worthless, edgy shit like that in like a group, they're gonna tell you to go fuck yourself, and you're gonna like lose all your friends. Like, realign yourself. Jesus Christ. Anyway,
screwed himself over because that.
Sorry, okay, this is the next one.
My father really screwed himself over because the account he was doing business with me on wasn't the same account he sent me money. It was actually from a different client of mine, but it was just him. And I'll show you that right now. Marcos was another account. He used to send me money, and then I got the
Jesus.
transaction for Marcos instead of Enrique. Mind you, whenever these transactions were made, none of this was showing up. It didn't show that I cashed out or anything. It just wasn't loading on my Cash App. It didn't load until I got...
There's a Colleen in there. Okay, interesting. It's weird because it seems like this guy was like really active with this girl. Or her father. It's just fucking gross.
Like Wi-Fi. And I was like, oh my fucking God. It wasn't just one account, it was two, because obviously he didn't put two and two together. He was supposed to send me money on the other account, but he sent it under Marcos.
I think I understand what she's saying. So she's saying that when he was posing as one person, he accidentally sent it on a different thing, like on like his other Cash App, I guess. Dude, what is like the one question is like, why does he even have two? Like, it just seems so bizarre. Why does he have two different accounts in general? This isn't like a question to validate her. It's just like, what the fuck? It's so weird.
For a while, I had...
Are the mom and dad divorced? I don't know. Does the mom have no idea of these finances? Yeah, I don't know. My fiance just looks through my shit. I don't give a fuck. They probably have separate accounts that they keep private from each other. So weird.
Stopped business with
Maybe trying to confuse her more, maybe.
account Enrique because he was getting really demanding. Next thing you know, Marcos popped up probably a couple months ago. And
that makes sense. So like he was being too demanding on one account, so he decided to make a new account to try to be like to the new first impression, be like a nice guy. That actually makes a lot of sense.
It's like, I'm more than happy to help you with your needs, and obviously I'm in the business, so I was like,
what does that
I didn't
mean?
think anything of it. I really didn't, but it was just my father trying to reach out to me on a different account because I wasn't giving him attention on his first account. How fucked up. He really fucked me up. And like, honestly, almost like I'm not all the way there because of my childhood trauma. And then it just got brushed away because we are Hispanic, so...
Yeah, that's fair, too. Before I was like, I don't know if she'd be traumatized. Well, she'd probably be traumatized with a 4-year-old shit, obviously. Yeah.
It never really got serious. I remember my childhood trauma. And then it just got brushed away because we are Hispanic, so it never really got serious. I remember my mom had taken me whenever I got sexually assaulted when I was younger. She didn't believe me because everything was still intact.
What is that? Oh.
So that's
fucked
really,
up.
Really fucked me up. Not too long ago, Enrique had reached out again, apologizing and wanting to do business, which I don't know if my dad was expecting me to send more to one separate account or do extra for another person. I don't know. I don't know why he did 2 separate accounts and felt the need to reach out to me that way. Obviously, whenever business was made, no conversations were ever traded. It was simply just business only. Yesterday, we found very young pictures of me on his phone. And he had sent these pictures to himself whenever he had taken my phone away when I was 15, logged into my stuff, and personally sent them to himself.
Jesus
so now
Christ.
He has a hold of child pornography. And
That's
now
up.
it will be a court case, and I'll see how
her.
that goes.
Good for her pushing for a court case. That's fucked. This shit's crazy.
My mom was really unaware of the situation, and I'll kind of get to that in a second when I mean this situation. But she was just really out of the loop. She still was really unsure what was happening, but I just had gotten done calling her, hysterically crying, just to confirm that I heard what I heard was correct. And once I did that, I was like, okay, don't let Dad know that I was on the phone with you. Don't let him know that I'm about to be over. Like, don't let that, like, anything know. Like, now she's worried. Like, she's like, what the fuck is happening? I end up pulling up, and I just have a candle holder. And I'm like, call the cops. She's still really, like, confused of what the fuck's happening. I go inside and I start beating him. I'm like, I'm your fucking daughter, like, you sick fuck.
Good for her. I wasn't expecting that. Good for her.
And my mom was just yelling at me to stop, but then she saw him trying to hand me his phone. He was like, I don't have money, look at my phone. Like, I don't have money, I don't know what you're talking about. And mind you, I haven't said anything. I was just like calling him a sick fuck. Like, wasn't doing like anything for him. Like, I don't know.
That's interesting. So she just ran in and started hitting him, saying he's a sick fuck. And he's like, I don't even have any money. It's like, okay, you outed yourself.
I don't know how to describe that. I wasn't explaining exactly why I was there. He just knew why I was there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just played. It was just so obvious. Like, I didn't even have to say why I was there. He was already trying to cover his ass. It was so weird. I'm sorry. I'm kind of like a mess with everything. But this is all still freshly new. Once she saw that and I had gotten done beating him, I was like, Mom, like, he has been doing what he's been doing. And my mom automatically believed me. And this is why. Good. Back to George Lewis. So whenever I was dealing with that situation, I had brought it up to my mom because
I'm surprised that the mom instantly believed her, because a lot of these times in these situations, the moms will like just double down with whatever the dad like fucking says, and like they won't actually care. It's pretty fucked up. Like they'll just won't want to believe it, so they won't believe it, you know?
Because I was like, I think this is Dad, because this man knew things that people should have known that were happening in the household. Like, this man was like, your parents must be so disappointed in you, they must think you're disgusting, yada yada. and was just describing things that people should have known. So I brought it up to my mom. I was like, I think this is dad, but I don't know how to prove it. Mind you, I just found out yesterday that he's been under the accounts of George Lewis, but my mom has personally known for the last 2 months.
Interesting. The mom knew about her talking to him, or she knew that he had like a side account.
So that's kind of fucked. Technically, obviously, that's a way of child endangerment, if that makes any sense.
Wait, so like the mom knew he was sexting her, or that she had like that he had like sexually assaulted her when she was a child? What is she referring to?
So George Lewis, but my mom is dad, but I don't know how to prove it. Mind you, I just found out yesterday that he's been under the accounts of George Lewis, but my mom has personally known for the last 2 months. So that's kind of fucked. Technically, obviously, that's a way of child endangerment, if that makes any sense, because she did know that he was under those accounts doing the things that he did whenever I was younger. So my mom...
Well, I wouldn't say that like it was in child endangerment for her. Like, this is a fucked up situation. She found out 2 months ago that he was molesting her. That's got. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, she should have done something about. Like, she couldn't have gone back in time, but like, you should have. I mean, I don't know, file for divorce, or maybe stab him in his throat in his sleep or something. I don't know. Interesting.
Mom's not with my dad, obviously. She's currently with my grandma. So is my younger brother. Obviously, they're allowed to stay with my grandma as long as they need to.
It's good that the younger brother is too. This is like a genuine question. So this is like a very bizarre, interesting thing that I've been that I've been introduced to, and it's the idea that not all people who molest children are pedophiles. I know that sounds really bizarre, but in some cases, it's not even that they're necessarily attracted to the kids. It's more that they're attracted to the power over the kids. And so this seems to be something that makes sense in this situation, because he continuously engaged with her for how long? It started as like a direct, like, physical like dynamic where it's just like, okay, this is a child, they can't express themselves, I'm gonna take advantage of them. And then it changed to the spending money to get it. I wouldn't doubt if the dad would be doing something with the boy either, because like, it's not necessarily about the attraction of the person. It's about the attraction of the power. I would, and that it sounds like it could be possible in this case. Like, any child is like any child, he's a threat to any child at this point. You'd make that assumption. I think it's a reasonable assumption, because people aren't just attracted to people. People are attracted to situations. Like, I don't know if you guys there's people who they're called pay pigs. They just pay people. This is a consensual. They just pay other people, and this is what we're talking about. Other people to they treat them like shit and abuse them or whatever. Like, they're attracted to like having the power dynamic or the money. It's not about the person per se. So, it's fucking crazy, man. Good thing that the girl's out.
But later on, they will have to figure out living situation, because my mom is mentally ill and my dad was there for the financial help.
Your dad's fucking...
Mom was really
disgusting, right? This is the last one.
Yo, I should just known. Look, this is what he looked like. He
Damn,
done
she
it.
fucking outed the fuck out of him. Good for her.
He looked like a fucking predator. Like, I should have just known from the get-go.
Yeah, once you put that Marvel shirt on, bro, you would have had to have known,
Off. Yo.
Yeah, man, so this shit's pretty fucked up. I mean, like, there's not a lot else to say. I mean, this guy should get arrested. Hopefully, it's one of those things to say, like, hopefully he still has pictures of her on his phone, which is disgusting, but then, like, that's the only thing that you could really prove. You know what I'm saying? Because technically, buying your daughter's OnlyFans isn't illegal. It's really weird and disgusting. It's not illegal. But it is illegal to have possession of CP, so that would be enough proof. So, like, weirdly, hopefully he has the picture still, but and he does look dumb enough to not delete it now, but you never fucking know, man. Disgusting shit, though. She should leak his number. There's a lot of things that she may, I wouldn't say should do, but nobody would blame her. Nobody would be upset if she did it. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man, that was a fucked up story. That was worse than I thought it was gonna be. Jesus.